There was a woman, let's call her Irina, whose daughter, after finishing school, enrolled in a state university, deciding to become a teacher. Meanwhile, the daughter of one of her good acquaintances went to study at some private financial institute. This acquaintance was wealthy, paid a considerable amount for her daughter's education, and whenever they met, she would boast about the brilliant prospects, never missing a chance to make some disparaging remark about the teaching profession and its meager existence. Then, for several years, the two mothers did not see each other. During that time, Irina's daughter graduated, became a teacher at a respectable school, and everything was going well for her. But one day, Irina ran into her acquaintance and her daughter again. They looked unwell, downcast. And instead of the expected story about success in the financial field, Irina heard the following story from them. The acquaintance's daughter really did study finance, started working at a bank, and advanced quite far up the career ladder. The salary was good and the prospects were enticing. And so one day she was traveling somewhere by train for work. There were two fellow passengers in her compartment, an elderly woman who was on her way to visit her grandson, and a slightly tipsy middle-aged man who had worn everyone out with his chatter. The fourth seat in the compartment was empty. And then, at one of the stations, the conductor brought a young Roma woman into the compartment, briefly muttering to the passengers that she would get off at the next station. The Roma woman didn't bother anyone, sat down on the bunk and closed her eyes, planning to take a nap. But the tipsy man really didn't like having her as a neighbor, and he started picking on the Roma woman. He asked where Roma people got so much gold, called them thieves, swindlers and charlatans, and shouted all sorts of nasty things. In the end, he asked her to tell his fortune. She, who had been silent until then, replied, "There's no point in telling your fortune, you are already dead." He just sat there, while the Roma woman turned to the elderly lady and said that her grandson had been waiting for her for a long time. After that, she stood up and got ready to leave. Already standing in the doorway, she suddenly turned to the young woman and said, "Never work in finance. You will end up paying for someone else's guilt. Others will steal, but you will have to answer for it. You will be shamed, and you might even end up in prison." She left. After some time, the man also left the compartment, and he was gone for a long while, until the conductor and a police officer came and took away his belongings. When asked what happened to him, the conductor replied that he had died. Something happened to his heart. I don't know whether to believe the prediction or not, but the young financier ended up quitting her job, and for several months now she has been in love with